Well, when I first met Jen, I took her for a ride on my motorcycle, and that was it. We're pretty much together from then on in. I took, we ended up going out for coffee and talking, and that was it. We stayed together from then on. I was pretty scared. Madison was 1. So, and it was, yeah, you were 1 year old, you had a new baby. It was just before Christmas we had found out, and it was tough. But they said it was stage 1, and then when they removed the lump, they found more under her arm, so when she woke up, it was actually stage 2, and they said it wasn't a big deal. They treated, and she was clean for 3 years. So it was about a year of treatment. Chemo, radiation, she lost her hair, got it back, so we went through the first year. And it was tough to watch, but she was pretty strong. She did it, and then for 3 years she was clean after. She'd go get her port flushed, and every 3 months she would get her markers tested. And she was good for 3 years, and she started to get headaches. Really bad migraines while I was at work. They thought maybe her eyeglasses or something was giving her headaches. And so it just got to the point where I just called one day from work, and I said, "You're really home again?" And I just left work, asked her if she'd get Madison dressed, come home, and took her to the hospital. And that's when we found out she had metastasized. Well, Old Colony Hospice for us, we talked about getting him in a little sooner, but Jen was a little resistant at first. I think when she heard the word hospice, her thoughts were, this is the end. And Jen didn't want to know her diagnosis, like she didn't want to know her prognosis the whole way through. Her whole outlook was, just tell me what I need to do when I get out of here, when I go home, so I could fight. And that's the way she wanted it. She didn't want to know. But we knew that they had given her 6 to 12 months. And Jen was starting to go in and out of the hospital a lot more. She was getting pneumonia. And just seemed like we spent a lot of time in the hospital. I wanted to be home. And it was tough for me to be in 2 places because I had to be here with Madison, and I couldn't have her sleeping at the hospital. I think the big selling point, even for Jen, to say, listen, hon, you want to come home so we can all be together, you got to say yes to hospice, because then they'll set up a room. They'll set up this hospital room at home, and we can all be together. So the benefits right away were, or come home, and I got to take care of Madison and still be with my wife at the same time, and we could all be together. And so for me, that was huge. That was everything. They had a lot to offer.
I got to sit with her for on her bed.
They offered counseling for Madison, and the other big thing I thought was nice too is prescriptions. If she'd run out of something, or if they wanted to change her medication, she didn't have to go back to the hospital. Well, Colony made a phone call, and an hour later, it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and there's a knock on the door. There's a guy with the bag with the prescriptions, you know what I mean? And I couldn't imagine not being there when Jen passed, and having her here at home with my daughter. I'll always have those memories, I wouldn't want to live on knowing that maybe she passed at night while I was home taking care of Madison and we weren't there. So I would want anybody else to have that same opportunity. I feel very lucky. I miss her so much, but I'm so grateful for the time I had with her.
Do you miss Mama ever? Why do you think you want to walk with us?
We can help other families that maybe can't afford it,
Yeah.
so they can have the same thing.